Hey everybody, it's me, Russ. Welcome to the channel. It is Friday night.
Yeah!
And coming at you from the mini mansion on Melvin here in Everett, Washington, USA, in the Seattle Metro District. I got some right by the beach tonight here in Friday. Got the Pebble Beach going on in the background. Always like to do a little fun, background noise. The silence is killing me. I don't know. Like and subscribe. It's just fun. Got the beach in the background, crashing waves. We live in the future, man. We live in the future. All right, let's take these off. Done looking cool. That segment's over. All right, so did I buy a record? This is a weird coincidental anniversary, by the way. So my wife got me into the Temu, and she's bought stuff on there. I've bought stuff on there now, and I'm like, you hear all these stories about how they're bad and they're using slave labor and stuff like that. I did a little research on that, and if you're buying stuff on Amazon, it's pretty much the same crappy companies. I don't know all the details. I try to distance myself from all of that. We all own cell phones, right? Those are also, anyway, you get what I'm saying. So I buy this.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Los Angeles, California, the Doors!
This caught my attention as I'm scrolling through Temu. And normally, when it comes to a bootlegs when you're collecting records is like a weird moral thing. That, my friends, is a service announcement from Neil Young. And that was from 1972. That video is like 15 minutes long. It's on YouTube, and it was uploaded 8 years ago. So it is not AI. It is real. And 15 minutes of film back then wasn't cheap, right? So it's one of those things that raises eyebrows. Like, really? Most of it, he's just walking around a record store, like shopping, And anyway, if you've seen that video, I'll link it if you haven't seen it in the description. But nowadays you probably think, oh, that's the AI. It's part of an autobiographical film, I guess, that somebody just put up online. But yeah, so there was a lot that could have just been cut out of that if I'm editing for budget, right? But so this gets into some controversy here, right? You got an online retailer, a big one. I'd love to hear your comments on this, by the way, because, a lot of us, if you collect vinyl, when you buy bootlegs, every used record store I think I've ever been in has added a bootleg or two. They don't sell bootlegs on Discogs. No bootlegs allowed, which is interesting.
Russ Shaw TV does not condone or encourage engaging in illegal activity.
But Temu, why do you think this is a bootleg, Russ? First of all, this is always usually a red flag. If you see this, you ever see that? I don't know why this sticker is synonymous with bootlegs, but there it is. Seattle Center Coliseum, 1970. This was recorded on this day, June 5th, 1970. 56 years ago. Do the math, Russ. Today, I got 54. It's my own birthday. I'll be turning 58 on June 11th. So, yeah. That's wild. I was born in 1968. So, 56 years ago today. Getting back into the math. It sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard this. I'm not gonna gush about the sound quality. It's on this cool marbled vinyl. This came from a record store in Miami, Florida, which I'm not gonna, you know, keep you under wraps, Miami. Come on. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans. So, and then it kind of, you know, Jim Morrison and the boys, they sort of meander around and get all psychedelic with it, which is pretty cool. And it was recorded right there at Seattle Center Coliseum, which I think is a better, I don't know. Again, I'd love to hear your comments on it, but Seattle Center Coliseum is just a way better name than Climate Pledge Arena, or, you know, what it used to be was, before that was Key Bank, or Key Arena. The Doors, 1970. It sounds all right. You know, you don't hear the crowd noise as much. I kind of like some of that. That's another thing about live records. I don't like it when I don't hear the crowd. It's kind of weird, like they're trying to make some fake studio version of the... And a lot of studios back then, people just got together like they do on stage and they would record an album. Unlike today where things are cut to pieces, and there was a lot less of that back then. And so, but this one you can kind of hear the crowd, but it's also, you know, I don't know. But I like it. It's not a perfect recording, but it's pretty good. And live, it's a live radio broadcast. So Best of the Doors live recorded, June, it says right there, June 5th. I don't know if it was a radio broadcast or somebody brought a tape recorder or what happened. We don't know. If they don't, you know. So, Daybreak Records. I'm coming home Thursday night. Daybreak Records. Right? So I found a good stack of records. I'll start with the least cool and then kind of get into the most cool. So this was Fleetwood Mac in the 80s, 1982, Mirage. There's a couple of hits on there. Gypsy. What was that other song you liked, Dana? That was on this one. I can't remember it. Dana knows Fleetwood Mac more than I do. She saw Fleetwood Mac. You saw Fleetwood Mac in the 70s.
Yes.
She was just a kid, but that's a pretty cool.
With Heart.
With Heart, wow. Heart opened for Fleetwood Mac. That's amazing. My old copy of Mirage. So I did have this record, but I found it in at a yard sale or something where you don't do the thing. Like when you're especially at a yard sale, you gotta kind of look, oh, see what's in here. Is this the record? And I didn't do that. And I got home, I put it on, I was like, this isn't Rumors. And it was Mirage. So I have 2 copies of Mirage now. This one has the proper jacket. So there you go. This was a cool find at Daybreak. This was $10. That is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, 1978. You're gonna get it. This is the second album in the discography of Tom Petty. And it is it's getting into some rock and roll, you know? And it's funny how the B-side of this record is way better. The B-side of this record is way more rockin', and the B-side of this album has the hits, right? That we know. The debut album, yeah, it's all right, you know. I don't know how you feel about Tom Petty's debut album, but of course you got the... I feel fine about it, but this is getting into the rock and roll. As they go into the 80s, and just people, they rock the fuck out. People lose their minds, and that's the good thing that happens. But this album's great. This is a great freaking record. And it is on, not only that, but I was excited to see that this is not like some over-repressed Shelter Records. It's got an egg as a planet, and then the moon there and all that. It's very cool. Fine. I'm guessing a first press. Gotta be, right? Gotta be. Or maybe, I don't know. And this is a microfiber, so. All right, so yeah, Tom Petty. That's that last song on the record. Baby's a rock and roller. Thank God for Baby being a rock and roller. This is one of those albums that I thought I had already, but we didn't have it. At least we can't find it if we do. And it's not in our Discogs. I kind of lost track of Discogs now that every time I try and log in, you guys had this problem? It's sort of a pain to log in anymore. Like everything else on my phone just remembers the cookies or whatever. And I just really want my, check your email for the second verification. It's just hoops, man. So I just don't, just not into disc. I mean, unless they change, hopefully they change that sometime soon, or maybe I need to get out of two-step verification. I don't know. But Discogs has just not been my jam lately, so I kind of lost track of what records we own and which ones we don't. And the value, but this was $5, man. Crisscross. Well, you gotta have some. This is not crisscross, like, you know, 90s Chris. This is Christopher Cross. Yacht. This is where it all started. There may not be yacht rock without. This is like the muddy waters of, you know what I'm saying? Sailing started it all. And this is a super clean copy of this record. It's got a little ringwear right there, but I was like, man. It's $5. Yeah, I saved the price tag because I was like kind of shocked that I find it for that cheap. But yeah, great find. And so here was this was the gem, and I got to give a shout out to Mr. Bizarro out there because he showed this record where he had these comps. This is Tokyo Psychedelic from 1966 to 1969. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I feel a breathing, baby. I need you. Wow. Wow.
I mean, how do you not like something like that? Pick that up. Volume 3. He has 3. He doesn't have 2. We both don't have 2. So we correct that. Edit. Whatever. Not editing this. It's just a stream of consciousness flowing along, mistakes and all. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Slitherama. You got the Hydra and the Godzilla going at it. No one knows who wins. So True Radical Miracle. This is the one I picked up at Singles Going Steady down there, and it's Cockroaches was this is the name of the album. This is the name of the band, and it's like it's kind of hardcore, right? But it's sort of like hardcore punk music. This is just my opinion. Again, you know, you do with the old man what you will, but it's like if Cookie Monster sang punk music, I guess that's my synopsis of it. And that's just me. You know, I'm just not into that kind of guttural voice singing thing. But the musicianship on it's pretty good. It's pounding, it rocks. But, you know, the dude opens his mouth and it just, for me, I'm out. But it's alright. But I'm you know, not my favorite record. Thanks for watching. I am out. Gonna have a light beer or two. I've pulled in a couple notches on the old belt there by not, you know, I've kind of dipped back into carbs a little just because my mind gets fuzzy doing the whole protein thing, but I'll be fine. I'll shut up now. Thanks for watching. Janie went out with a friend, and
see, there's a
all these
color
records.
one, and then there's a black and white one. I haven't seen that one yet, and I still didn't find that record that we had.
Where's the plan?
These two I need to look at.
She's
'Cause
amassing
there's-
a nice collection. Imagine Dragons. Some of them have more than
Rare.
one song on. So, you know, like this is the Fall Out Boy. We have two of these because they're two different songs.
Yeah. One is
Sugar, We're Going Down,
Rare.
and Dance Dance.
One is
Dance
common.
Dance is
These
rare.
ones are common.
They tell you.
Common, rare, and
Yeah.
very rare.